More Country 96.1 The Bull. Jeff and Josh, good morning. On the line with us this morning is David Feldman. Good morning, David.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going great. Now, as everybody knows, we have Spuds for St. Jude coming up this Saturday. And David and our friend Sherry are really the people that are the big movers behind this. And it all started with David and his blog called Give1million.blogspot.com. Do I have that address right?
Yep, that's right.
Now, we'll talk about Spuds for St. Jude here in just a moment because people who, Bull listeners know that we're very involved with St. Jude. We've been doing the radiothon and going to Memphis now for almost 10 years. And I'm really curious, David, to find out, how did you get involved in the first place, and what prompted you to start the blog?
Well, back on Valentine's Day, my wife and I, we were just kind of out for dinner, like a lot of people, I guess. But we started talking about how we wanted to make a difference, what we were doing in this world to actually do something to give back, because we've been so lucky in our life. And we were just kind of talking. The idea came, and just to start Give 1 Million, it just kind of came up. And St. Jude really was the fact that we have 2 healthy kids. We're so blessed with that, and we've luckily, knock on wood, we haven't had to deal with childhood cancer or any pediatric cancer like that. But we've had friends that have, and seen people that have had to go through that, and how devastating that can be. And so for us, we were just thinking, well, if we're going to do something, there's no better cause to fight for than that. And so that's kind of how that came about.
I'd be willing to bet that for you and your wife, it was very similar to what happened with us here. You get involved with St. Jude, and you start trying to tell people, you've got to think of this as a local hospital. The hospital, the research center itself, yeah, that's in Memphis, but you really do need to think of it as local. And then you start talking about St. Jude, and all of a sudden you start meeting kids and families from all over the place who have either been to Memphis to St. Jude, or they have children in your own hometown who have benefited from the research done there. So it really is a local hospital.
Exactly. The other day, I guess a month or 2 ago, we were doing a fundraiser at Sonic Drive-In here in Kansas City, and one of the guys came up, and, he said, "This is awesome what you guys are doing." He said, "I actually had my son was treated down there at St. Joseph's Research Hospital. He passed away. He's got a little brick down there on the walkway with his name on it, and he gave what he could out of his pocket to what we were doing, and then he went home, he got his checkbook, and he came back and he wrote us a check for $200. Because it really impacts, the work they're doing down there really does impact people's life all across the nation. Because, yeah, you can bet that the research or a lot of the treatment and stuff that's going on in Idaho or wherever is a lot of that has a foundation in the research that's done at St. Jude.
Well, that's absolutely true. And you mentioned giving a little bit. And a lot of people can give a little bit. Some people can give more. But one of the things they'll tell you, if you're ever lucky enough to go there, they'll tell you, you think $1 or $2 or $5 or $20, you think, well, that's not much. What's that going to do? But then if you have a 10-year-old girl who now has a nice wig she can wear because she just lost her hair, or a 5-year-old boy who gets to sit in a wagon as he goes through the halls instead of in a wheelchair, suddenly you realize, yeah, that little bit, it may seem like not much to you, but to the kids who need it, it's a huge amount of money.
Yeah, it really is, and every little bit really adds up. I mean, and that's, I try on my blog, I talk about that all the time. We go out and we spend $1 on a Red Box or, $5 going to McDonald's or whatever. If you just take, $1 or $2 from that, it can make a huge difference in somebody's life. If you, if you put yourself in somebody else's shoes and you were in the situation where your kid had something going on like that,
yep,
how grateful you would be, for something like that.
Give1million.blogspot.com is the address again, and we're going to have that posted all over the Bull website and Facebook page for anybody who wants to find it. Give1million.blogspot.com. Last time I looked at it, David, if I remember, I think it was just over $8,000 raised.
Yeah, it's just over $8,000 raised,
which is terrific.
And, yeah, I mean we're averaging over, I think, like $1,100 a month, which that may not sound like it's a ton compared to the $1 million goal we have, but I think we're making great headway.
Absolutely.
And, I like to always think positively. I hate to ever say we won't reach our goal, but even if we didn't, that's even if we just raise $1, we can't fail because that's just one more dollar that they had.
That's absolutely right. And you know what? What if you get to $1 million, but it took 2 or 3 years? Oh well,
Exactly.
Still did it.
And it's just like I tell people too. We're just one person away. One person has the right contact, or one famous person or whatever catches a hold of this or whatever, and we could reach our goal. It could be a whole different ball game tomorrow. So we're just going to keep doing what we can do, the little that we can do. Whether it's $1, whether it's donating a little bit of your time, whatever it is that you can do. Buying a bag of potatoes. It's all help, and it's all going to help us reach our goal.
Which brings us to Spuds for St. Jude. It's coming up this Saturday. It's just a day or so away. It's there's a number of locations in Idaho Falls and Rexburg, and we'll run through those in a moment. And for anybody who, if you don't remember them, the entire list you'll find at 961thebull.com. You'll see a big link right on the homepage for Spuds for St. Jude. Essentially, you can buy a 50-pound bag of Spuds for $20, and $10 from every single bag is going to go to the kids of St. Jude. Whose idea was this?
This really, I think, originated with my mom, Sherry. She's the one back. I'm from Idaho originally, even though I live in Kansas City now. But so all my family's back there, and she really has been kind of gung ho about this and really helping out.
Yeah, it's funny because Josh and I have met with Sherry and talked with her several times now, and she's really not a let's do this halfway type person, is she?
No, she's not.
No, she's great. I'm thinking of hiring her to be like our promotions director or something. She's terrific.
Yeah. She's definitely been a great supporter, and she's had a lot of people help her out too. Help pull this together, and so she's really been the one that's headed this up. Has helped with the contacts and helped get you guys involved, which we really appreciate all your help and everything you guys are doing. So. It just kind of came up. My mom mentioned that we can maybe do something with potatoes and stuff, and we kind of started thinking about it and said, what, this could be good. And we brainstormed and we said, well, if we're going to do this, let's do it big and make it an event, so that we can get a lot of people involved and hopefully raise a lot of money.
Absolutely. Well, and I think it's going to go great. It's this Saturday. It's 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. I'm going to give the locations here in just a moment. Again, you can get all the information at 961thebull.com. And David, we're just about out of time, but thank you so much for taking a few moments to talk with us. I have the feeling between Spuds for St. Jude and some other events that we're working on with you and Sherry and our Radiothon coming up next March, we'll be talking a whole bunch. And again, the blog is Give 1 Million, all spelled out in words, give1million.blogspot.com. We will post links to that on our website as well. Anything you can do to help out is going to be greatly appreciated. David Feldman from give1million.blogspot.com. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate you guys helping out.